This is the project exercise 1 for editing web-ready images, and then this is going to be after you've watched the tutorials on the website. So the steps to actually completing this project it's fairly simple. You've got a regular digital project of yours that you've uploaded or you've scanned in, and it's at a high-res format. So you can see my dimensions here are 3750 by 2700. That's a high-res pixelation. So if I open these two in Photoshop by right-clicking or Control-click and then open in Photoshop, I've got these two sides, and I want them to be on the same side. So I'm just going to take this front side, and here's my history. I'm going to move out of the way. Background, double click to make it a layer. Use my marquee tool, which is M, or push this button here. I'm going to grab the edge of this front all the way to the corner. Try it again. I'm going to cut, which is Control X. Edit, cut, which is grayed out now because I just cut it. So don't save that. Paste, which is Command V. It's the front side, so I'm just going to put it over here on the side. And I can of course rearrange this if I don't like this layout, but if this is the layout that I want it to show up on my website as, then I'm fine. So I'll just save it. If I want to do any editing of this design so the colors pop out more, say my scan didn't come in the way I liked it, but I want it to be more colorful, I just make those changes as I'm here. Then for the regular size for the website, remember there's two formats. We have a thumbnail and a regular size. For the regular size, I don't want to crop this image because I don't want to crop it here. It's already fine. I just want to crop it in Save for Web and Devices. So File, Save for Web and Devices. And it's going to say this image is really large. Are you sure you want to do that? And that's fine. It's just not going to show you as much in the screen, but we don't have to do that because we're making it smaller. In the preset, it's JPEG, optimized, convert to RGB. Make sure those are all fine. If you have an issue with the quality, you can move it up to 100. I'm just going to leave it at 60. That's fine. In the image size, make sure that this is linked. From there, you go in and make sure that the size that is the largest is saved to 800. So you can see if I put in 800, it's linked, so it reformats this height. Then you just hit Shift, or Tab, and it'll automatically reformat this document to 800 by 576. That's what I mean by one size is a max of 800, the other size should be smaller than 800, so it doesn't have to be squared off for this regular image. So you just hit Save. And I'm going to just call this Kids Back, or Kids Menu. And then put it in the folder where your images are. Make sure, and that's of course the same name, so that's the right place. I just click and drag this to where, and then hit Save. Then from here I want to create the thumbnail. This is still the original image, but the thumbnail I want it to be squared, so I'm going to crop it in Photoshop before I take it into File, Save for Web and Devices. So I'm going to take this crop tool, or I can hit C, and I'm going to drag it across my page. Now see how it's not squared automatically? If I hit Shift, it'll automatically square off this image for me. Now if I wanted to just come in here and format it to a square with this crop image selected, I can just go in and change the dimensions. In the newer version I can actually select square as an option, but I can change the width and the height. But in this version I don't want to do that because I don't want to save it as 200 by 200 until I get to File, Save for Web and Devices. So I'm just going to use this crop tool, and I'm going to take it and drag it over the area that I think I want to use. Now the good thing about it is if you hit Shift and your moving your crop tool and you let go, you can move this anywhere you want and resize it. See that? So you can move it and resize it. So wherever you want to put it, you can just resize it. Make sure that you grab the corner edge and not the side edge. See, if you do that, it's going to skew it. So I don't want to do that, and I have to undo that, cancel every time I do that. So make sure when you are dragging and hitting shift, it's squared off, and then you can use these corner edges, just these 4 corner edges, to change the size proportionally, squared. So I'm just going to take this, the Diner Kids Mill section, and I'm going to move it till I'm just happy with it. I can use the arrows on the computer or just use my mouse here to visually center it. And then when I'm done, I just double click and it's saved. Then I just go to File, Save for Web and Devices. Make sure this is 200 by 200 because everything else is correct. I just did it a minute ago. JPEG 60 optimized, convert to RGB. 500. I'm sorry, not 500. 200 by 200. So 200, click 200, hit tab, make sure this is linked before you do that, and it should just automatically reformat to squared. And you can see how this is not skewed. It's the original proportion of the document that I scanned in. It's just cropped. So I'm gonna hit save, call it the same thing, kids menu, back, kids menu, and then underscore, I'm just gonna put thumbnail, and make sure it's in the same place, and it's got the same title. I actually capitalized it, so I'm just gonna change it to capital. Actually, let's do it. Let's do lowercase. I want to change this other one to lowercase because it'll make. I don't want to. I just want to keep it all lowercase when we're doing websites, just so that there's no question if caps is an issue or not. All caps or just a regular or non-caps is okay. So we're just gonna keep it with no caps. And I'm going to save it, photo adjust, same place, and then you're done. You don't have to save that. And you want to make sure you have the original image if you need it. So here's the original images. If you have to edit these again, you want to make sure that you edit them in the higher res version, because once you lose pixelation, you don't have as much to work with. So keep a copy of your old one. I should have saved the kids menu once I moved this front piece onto the back piece, and I should have saved it as a PSD in a different location. But for this project, all I need you to turn in is the thumbnail and the regular size. So you would just take those two and then duplicate this 3 times, meaning like you'd have 2 more photos or 2 more art projects or whatever you want on your portfolio at the end of the semester. If you don't know what you want on your portfolio yet, that's okay. Just come up with something that you've done that you want to use, or something that you can learn how to do this for now, and then you'll be able to use it in the future. But it'd be great if you could start working toward your portfolio right now. So go ahead and save a thumbnail for each one and a regular size. Make sure that one side is the max is 800, but it's still proportional. Do not skew your document or your images. Okay, and then you'll turn in these in a zip file. So that's it. You'll turn in these 2 in a separate folder with only the thumbnail and the regular. So I'd move this out of the way, and then you'd save it that way. Okay? That should be enough for the project. You'll zip it and email it to me, and it will be done. Thank you very much.